What up, guys? It's been a while since I vlogged last. I'm here with Lily. But we're taking a little family trip, so I figured I'd capture it, and mostly for me, but if anyone's interested in Greek history or just wants to see it, I figured I might as well post it too. So the place that we're staying is kind of cool. You can actually see the Acropolis right from the deck. What do you think, Lily?
Really cool.
Well, the one problem that we're having right now, though, is none of our luggage showed up. So we're kind of just dealing with it. And we're just going to go tour a little bit right now. I think we're going to go to Syntigma Square, Benaki Museum, and Aristotle's Lyceum, the school that he taught at. I'll just give little tours, maybe some history in there, because that's what I like. But I hope you guys enjoy. It's good to be back. Right now we are going to the Panathenaic Stadium. I know he's impressed by it. He's excited, but essentially the quick history lesson on it is it was used for the festival to celebrate Athena, and then it was kind of rebuilt for the first modern Olympics. It looks pretty cool. Another historical part of this, which I said obviously I was going to be doing a lot of it, is this is actually the Roman baths. After Emperor Hadrian of the Romans completed the Temple of Zeus, an area was built up around it because it was of a lot of importance. And one of the things was a public bathhouse, which you can see here, which is pretty cool. But another cool thing about it was later used by the Byzantine Empire as well, and they actually stored grain and cereal in the bathhouse. And it's still kind of preserved here. You can see the pots. Yeah, if you look here, you can still see the pots from the Byzantine Empire, and then these are the bathhouse remains. So, because our airline wanted to forget our clothes, we got a free little shopping trip. What'd you pick out?
Some nice Adidas and Nike shirts and shorts.
Shopping with women is the worst. Isn't that right, Lily?
Yes.
We just had our first meal in Athens. Go around the table, what does everyone think?
It's delicious. I love the feta cheese. Yum.
There was a lot of cheese, and I don't really like anything that was on the plate except for green peppers and cheese.
As you can tell. What'd you get?
Great, I got the lamb.
I got the lamb too, it was good. Pork skewers. Excellent. It wouldn't be a vlog without the meatballs food review.
Got the grilled meatballs.
How were they?
Give it a 9.5 out of 10.
So we're wrapping up our first day here in Athens. You know, we didn't get our baggage, but things worked out. We got to see some cool places. But anyways, me and Lily are just sitting out here, and it's gonna be a little dark, but we're playing some Sudoku. We got the Sudoku puzzles. Me and Lily are sleeping out here apparently because she wants to, so I made a little bed.
You do too.
I do too, you're right. See you tomorrow.
Seriously strong coffee, wasn't it?
How's the calorque, Lily?
Stepped up for a week.
The first stop today is Aristotle's Lyceum. It originally started off as a gymnasium where people would come and train for Olympic events and gymnastics, which was super important to the Greeks, obviously. But slowly it evolved into a school, as most gymnasiums did during the time. And this is actually where Aristotle taught his students. And the reason that it's so bare is because when the Romans came here, they actually cut down the trees for siege machines. Also, a cool fact about this place is that the Library of Alexandria, which was super famous for burning down, it is believed the foundation of that was from Aristotle's writings in the library that he amassed here. It's also cool to note that Aristotle actually taught Alexander the Great. So now we're at the Temple of Olympian Zeus. It's actually the biggest temple in Greece. So it's bigger than the Parthenon. I think it was finished under the Emperor Hadrian of the Romans. This column here was also built by Hadrian, and it signified the split between the ancient Athens, which the Greeks used, as well as the more developed Roman side, which is the Temple of Olympian Zeus, as well as Roman baths and other structures that are in this area.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Where are we at now, Lily?
The Roman Agora.
So the Roman Agora was the marketplace under the Romans, and there's an ancient one over that way a little bit, but this is essentially where they came and they bought their goods and people worked here. It was kind of their livelihood. The cool thing about this place is this building right behind me. This building is the Tower of the Winds, and it was likely created in the 2nd century BC. Its main role was the weather instrument of the time, so it actually was able to tell the time, the wind, and precipitation, which is really cool. And during later occupations by the Ottomans and during the 14th century by the Byzantines, it was actually used as a church. For how small it is, it's kind of a weird little fact. Just got to the ancient agora. When the Greeks were here, this was their agora, so it was their marketplace. It was where pretty much everything happened, from sporting events, political meetings, marketplace to buy goods. Everything really was here. This is the agora where people like Aristotle, Plato, Themistocles, all of them hung out around here. And it's also where democracy was born, actually. Right now we are hiking up Mars Hill, also known as Areopagus Hill, which is where Apostle Paul gave one of his famous speeches. So it's pretty cool from a historical perspective, but also offers some great views of the city too. Hiking up to the Acropolis right now, and one of the first things you come across is the Odeon of Herodotus Atticus. It's pretty cool. They actually hold orchestras, it looks like, in there now. I don't think you're getting a Pop Smoke concert down there. Another cool fact about the Acropolis and a lot of Athens, they used Pentelic marble, which is a special kind of marble. I believe it's only found here in Greece. It's a very white marble with not a lot of streaking, so the buildings were beautiful. They've obviously corroded over time, so they're very brown now, but it would have been cool to see it back in the day.
How's the lamb?
Is it good?
Want some for the lamb?
So we're sitting here at dinner. There's a baby praying mantis, which I've never seen before. We left Athens today, and we came where not many people do. We came to the battlefield of Thermopylae. We're here at the statue of King Leonidas, and we got our matching shirts. What does it say?
Come and get them.
If you've ever watched the movie 300, you'll know that there's a famous scene with the 300 final Spartans fighting on a hill. And this is the hill right here, actually.
I just love those.
Pretty much the Greek forces that were left, Leonidas was already dead at this point. They stood on this hill, and the Persians were so scared of the Spartans after the previous 2 days of battles that even though Spartans were unarmed and were down to their bare fists, the Persian forces still would not advance on them, and instead decided to fire arrows. And it was a hailstorm of arrows that they found excavating the site, so they know this, that eventually led to the death of all the Greek forces that were left. So all of this around here,
Out there.
the dirt that you see, this was all the ocean during the time of the battle. The sea has since receded over the 2,500 years, and it's a couple miles, whatever direction that is. So I'm breathing because I just ran up here, but this is something pretty cool that I don't think a lot of people see when they come here. Behind me, you can see kind of this crumbling rock structure. Runs all the way along here. It's known as the Phocian Wall. Spartans had an encampment here. Behind me, where I just came from, that direction, was the hill where they had their last stand. And that way was where the main battle took place. It wasn't a battle between two mountains, it was rather a battle between the mountain and the seaside, which, as I've said, has receded off in the years. I'll come up here and give you guys kind of a perspective of that. I don't hop on another snake like I did on my way up here. Not a big fan of snakes. Hopefully that puts it into perspective a little bit with the towering mountains and then the drop off to the sea. As I've said, this isn't where the battle took place. This was just a Spartan encampment. We're currently at the Oracle of Delphi, which is in central Greece, and during ancient times, this was the center of the earth and about the most important place you could visit in the world. The reason for this was that the Oracle of Delphi had the Pythia, who could essentially communicate between the gods and humans, and allowed for wisdom to be passed on when questions were asked. So, for example, before the Battle of Thermopylae, the Spartans asked whether or not they should go to war, and this was just custom practice for any government decisions or even for common people. But the Oracle actually responded with either the Spartan civilization will crumble or a king must die. and Leonidas stepped up and he made the sacrifice, which helped Greece succeed. Now, the reason it was viewed as the center of the earth was because apparently Zeus let two birds, I believe it was like a falcon and an eagle, but I'm not for sure. He let them go and they met here at Delphi. So the Olympics were part of 4 games that made up the Pan-Hellenic Games. And the Olympics were the most important. The second most important was the Pythia Apollo Games. That is what occurred here at Delphi. So a cool thing about the Pythia Games were that they got their name from the python that Apollo slayed in the region. That's also where the name Pythia comes from, which were the oracles here that offered advice. Behind me is the theater where a lot of the activities leading up to the Pan-Hellenic Pythian Games would happen. So these would happen for like 4 or 5 days. Events would occur here before the stadium or the gymnasium at the bottom ever held athletic events before the games. We just got to Galazidi from Delphi. Galazidi is just a small little ocean town in Greece, but the house that we got is pretty cool, honestly. Just like a little deck here. Me, Walker, and Lily got that small room all together. There's Meatball. So there's a lemon tree outside that me and Lily, I just knocked one off from upstairs, so we're going to grab it. So we're gonna try to make some lemonade. Isn't that right, Lily?
Yep. Yep. I'm so good at this one. Look, water's in the fridge. They gave us water.
Now we're getting the water. I wonder if we could strain this at all.
Oh, here's a strainer.
Yep.
I'm so good at this.
Wait,
Come
here.
I can't.
Good.
That's enough, I think, guys. Can we both? Mmm.
It is good. It's acidic a little.
Is it a success?
It's a success.
So we're on the way to one of the beaches / coves that we found. It's a really pretty walk there. We just got a sea urchin out of the water. Walker just found us a good rock. Apparently you can eat these, but we're gonna crack it open and see what's inside.
Yep.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh,
That's disgusting. Apparently you can eat that, so there you go. You can see the pupil on the inside of it. Grossest thing ever.
Are you gonna actually chew it or are you gonna swallow it?
It's hard.
You're still chewing. It's a chewy eyeball.
You're chewing it? Wow, to just swallow it.
Eyeball. We got 2 traditional Greek beers. One of those.
Right now? I mean, drink right now.
One of these. $3.80 for 2 of them. First up, Mythos. Ooh, that's different than American, but that's good. Fix. This is my favorite.
They
This
smell.
is my favorite. Let's see what he thinks.
That's actually good, yeah.
You guys didn't want to get other stuff, you just...
This, mine, you get this one, but this one is a
Yeah,
lot
one's
better.
right.
I'm sure moms get great views.
That is
I
better
like
than it. That is.
Plus I like the bottle. Blue,
Yeah.
white, very Greek.
That's what
Let's try this one. Like that one better.
This one's pretty good though.
That reminds me of a Heineken. It has more European taste.
We just got to Santorini. It's a little bit rainy today, but that's okay. It's still super pretty. Kind of just show you guys around and the view that we have. So over here, right when you walk out of our place, you know, nice little deck. That's the view of the caldera behind us. A little pool to hang out at. But yeah, we're just here for 2 days. I think we're just gonna go to dinner, swim a little bit tonight, and then hopefully tomorrow go to Wea, which is kind of the famous place that everyone takes pictures. We got the first swim.
Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Okay. I can do this. I'm gonna dive in, I think.
Go.
Actually, not bad. Not bad at all. This is nice.
Oh.
Get better.
So we just got dressed up and we are headed to dinner now. So we'll be in Wea in a little bit. How is it?
Pretty good.
How it is? It's perfect. So perfect, I don't want to leave.
So we came to Parissia Beach today And I don't know if it's hard to tell on camera, but it's like a black sand beach, and it was pretty cool in the water.
There's like a bunch of big rocks, and there's fish swimming all around them.
We're in a raccoon today, and we're gonna go to an olive oil tour.
Hold this.
Fall in line!
Wait, say it.
Ready your weapon!
How's the olive review?
Are you going to have another one?
I haven't had one yet.
Pull it out.
Bite it.
Delicious.
Take a real bite.
Take a bite of it.
Yeah. Which is embarrassing.
Can I have a sip?
It doesn't taste just sour.
That's very good. I liked the first one better.
Want a small sip? Sure.
I like that one. It's better than the other one.
I do like the
We
first.
just finished our wine tasting, and now we're at the Palace of Knossos, which was the Minoan Palace during around 1700 BC. One interesting thing we learned during our wine tour was that the Minoans were the first civilization to actually make wine. One of the reasons for the importance of this site was the fact that they created purple dye from the snails in the region, which was super important. A lot of the Roman emperors actually wore purple robes because of this. It's believed it was more of an industrial center than it was a palace. And if you look behind me, that's one of the restorations by Sir Arthur Evans, which was kind of faked. And then this red here, which is on some of the columns around here, is also what I'm talking about. So this is at least another story up. We're on the second story, and then it goes down another level. Actually down a little bit more of a level, so you can see kind of the overall size of this place. Behind me is the throne room, which is probably the best preserved room of the palace. And if you look here, you can actually still see the stone throne right there. And then this behind me is the North Gate entrance, which is arguably the most famous area of the site and one of the most famous in Greece and Crete itself. Shout out to Grace. Lily finally got her Starbucks.
I got strawberry acid with my name.
Are you excited about it?
Yeah.
Very simple. If the tomato and peppers.
What's up, guys? We just got to Anya today. We're going to dinner right now, and then we're gonna go to the beaches tomorrow.
Run.
Birthday.
One of those big yachts.
Got a little lazy on vlogging here today, just since we're at the beach and stuff. But we came to Elafonisi today.
Pretty and clear, but it's kind of shallow at the beginning. You have to get deep enough to get under.
What's it famous for?
The pink sand.
It's a pretty cool place. And then we're going. Where are we going next?
I don't know how to say it.
Falasarna.
Valusarna.
But Lily keeps getting a bunch of salt water in her eyes today.
My eyes hurt. Shoreline. It's not as much up here, but it's right in the shoreline.
If you look. So today we are at Mycenae, and this is going to be kind of the last day of the vlogs as we're leaving after this. But Mycenae was the palace for the Mycenaeans, and this was mostly built from what you can see today during 1250 BC after the Greek Dark Ages. One cool thing about it is it's kind of far away right now, so I'm not sure if you can see it, but they were called the Cyclopean Walls because it was believed that no man could have built this because of how large the stones they used were, so they brought Cyclops to build them. This is also believed to be the place of Agamemnon, who was in the Iliad and the Odyssey and led the Greek forces in the Trojan War. That's the Lion Gate, which is the oldest monumental relief in Europe, and it was around 1250 BC that they built this. They don't have their heads anymore because they were likely made of a more precious stone that was taken at some point. So in this little room, right when you walk in, under the Lion Gate statue, we used to have a sentry here for protection. To the right, after you walk in, there's Grave Circle A, which is where they believe Agamemnon was buried. That's where they found the gold mask that's so famous. This is also a good perspective of why they call it the Grave Circles. So this right here was the palace of ancient Mycenae overlooking this beautiful view.
One other really cool thing about Mycenae was that they actually had these beehive tombs. This specifically is the treasury of Atreus, and they were built for the really wealthy people in Mycenae at the time. So I have to do a voiceover because it's super windy, but basically right behind me is Acrocorinth, which was the fortification that defended ancient Corinth from, any attackers back in the day. And it was built in ancient times and fortified and used all the way through the 1800s by a bunch of different civilizations.
So these more inner walls, these really large entrance right here you can see, belong to the Byzantine period. It's beautiful views from the top, but it's a hike to get up there. They don't have safety precautions here. It's free for all. Look at that drop off. Great viewpoint for any invading forces out there, though. This is a great view of the rest of the castle. So down below Acrocorinth is the ancient city of Corinth. This is where Apostle Paul came to speak and also wrote letters to give guidance to the people of Corinth at the time. So this is the Bema in ancient Corinth, where the elders of the Corinth synagogue brought Apostle Paul to speak due to subversive teaching against the Mosaic law. So it kind of raises up over the, I assume you could call it the city square. So he would have been right up along here giving a speech to the people down there.
Body would drive me, oh, it's all I want.
1,000 times, wondering where I've been.
You understand.
We're ending the vacation in Corinth, and this was the final day. If you guys made it through all of this one, thank you for watching. Like I said, it's kind of for my own entertainment, as you can tell by all the history. Maybe I'll keep making some videos. I enjoyed this. I missed it a little bit, but for now, see you from Greece.
Hiding all of us in